And now for our feature presentation.
Welcome, everybody, to Simon vs. the Podcast. We're back after a hiatus here. I'm Simon, the host of the show, and along with me, as always, is Sod.
Hello.
And Ethan.
Toodaloo.
Yes, and today, it's a new year. Well, this probably won't be out till, March or something.
I'll try.
Most likely.
I'll try.
It's New Year, so, New Year's, the party is what we have.
Gotta start the party.
Yeah, so the party, released in 1968, directed by Blake Edwards, famously known for Pink Panther and Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Mm-hmm.
Starring our main man, Peter Sellers.
Yes,
and Claudine Laguette.
Oh, yes.
Claudine.
Food and puff?
Yeah. That's all I have. Ethan,
okay.
Your pick, so you can take us from here.
All right, so why I picked this movie, it was, first of all, it's like, I love this movie. I always have. I watched it. I don't remember how old I was, what year it was, but I just remember, I was really into Peter Sellers at the time. I mean, I still am, but because I saw Dr. Strangelove, I think, first, then a Shot in the Dark, and I heard about this one. I'm like, oh, okay, The Party. And I saw he was playing an Indian man, which, to say the least, I thought was very interesting, and it intrigued me. I watched it, and I don't know, it stuck with me. I don't know what it is about this movie that just, appeals to me so much, of why I just think it's so funny. But I thought it'd be a fun pick to start the new year off with. It's been a while. I had the Blu-ray, so I thought, might as well. All right, so to kick this movie off, is what we're going to say?
Something out of the way here.
Do we have to address the elephant in the room? That's
yeah.
right.
The little elephant.
No, the elephant
room.
comes later. The elephant comes later.
No, not that elephant.
I think that little elephant in the room, yeah.
Sellers, East Indian. He is a white man.
Yes, that is true.
Guess what? It's called acting. So
yes, he was playing a character.
That's all we have to say on that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, guys, I watched one special features. I don't mean to pull out the other races think it's okay card, but when this movie came out, Indian people loved Peter Sellers. They loved his performance in this movie, but that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna no more. All right. So the movie kicks off with a great opening scene that I forgot about rewatching this for some reason, as I thought it opened with him playing the guitar in his room and he gets the mail, but no, I completely forgot about this opening, but it's so great. Yeah. So it's like a desert type of location, and a bunch of men are walking, playing bagpipes, nothing out of the ordinary, and then a bunch of other men have guns pointed towards them. And then we get the first shot of our main man, our main hero, a real human being, Bakshi. And he's, he has a bugler. I think that's how you pronounce that instrument.
Bugle?
And he started, huh?
It's just, why not just trumpet?
Bugle?
No, I think it was a bugler, yeah. I looked it up because I was I forget what it's called, but yeah, I think it's a bugler. I think that's what at least Google told me. And I don't know.
Me, this scene went on a little too long. They did it too many times.
How long it went on was even more funny to me. So he starts blowing it, and then you can tell right off the bat, rewatching it. He already has blood on him. So you can tell that they do multiple takes of this, constantly, which I thought that little detail made it even funnier.
This movie is really funny for the most part, but I'm sort of agreeing with Simon, where it's just it sort of goes on a bit too long. It's one of the few moments where it's probably the only moment in the movie where it goes, okay, I get it.
They shot him the third time. I was like, okay, that's good. Yeah, that's really funny. But it kept going for another 3 to 4 times. I was like, all right, can we move on, please?
Because the other two scenes that follow, I think, are really funny.
Yeah,
and then it's just
which we'll get to.
Apparently, the scene where he blows up the Alamo or whatever the hell it was, that's a reference to a big screw up on The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. When
for the bridge.
Yeah, he accidentally blew up the bridge.
Really?
Apparently that was a reference to that.
Oh.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's some good insight.
Yeah, more good and the bad, the ugly.
I was watching the movie. watching the movie on Prime, and like trivia kept popping up. I was like, "Fuck off!
Wait,
I'm trying to watch the
what?
movie." I was like, "Okay, okay,
Yeah.
fine. I'll read the trivia."
Hold on, is that a thing on
Yeah.
Prime where like trivia just pops up
Yeah.
randomly? Really?
Yeah,
one of
I
the
like
things
it a
love about
lot.
Prime is like, for the most part, when somebody comes on screen, you can pause it and it'll show who's exactly in the scene.
Yeah, that too.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. So he starts blowing the bugler, and then the people shooting get annoyed at him, and everybody starts shooting at Peter Sellers, and slowly, the horn is like it sounds worse and worse and worse. It's hilarious, but I never felt a drag. I thought, yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. Very funny joke to begin the movie on, and then it cuts to a guy just standing there looking, and then Bakshi. Oh no, sorry. You find out that it's a movie set. By the way,
Yeah, obviously.
and during
That's
this
sort of
scene,
like the whole...
yeah, it's joke. Yeah, once it gets revealed as a movie set, yeah, and I kind of laugh at him. He's still, and he comes up behind this guy and tries to knife him. And the director's like, I have it written down. He's like, cut, cut, cut. And then yeah, he's like, Mr. Bakshi, has it occurred to you that the period of our picture is 1878? And you're like, oh, yes, I am aware. And he's like, they didn't wear underwear watches. And Bakshi's like, oh, I'm very well sure. And then he's like, got the time? And the line point is like, oh my God. So when he says that, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then,
oh my God.
yeah. And then, yeah, one of the producers gets really stressed out. And he walks over to his 60s girl in a bikini and tells him, "Hey, come on, let's go to the what's it called? The a van, basically, whatever. RV, yeah, sorry, RV.
I'm stressed. Let's fuck.
Yeah, so basically, he's relieve some stress on this woman. Yeah,
That's just how they do it.
Essentially, yeah, for the 60s.
He's like,
yeah,
get in the RV.
Yeah, it's very demanding. Yeah. And then, they said that they have to shoot the final scene. And after the scene, it's a wrap, no more. And then,
well, it's not a wrap for the movie, it's a wrap for that area.
Oh yeah,
He gets told they have to wrap that area today, or else they'll be so far behind.
Yeah. And then, basically, the scene is you have to blow up this Alamo thing, like Simon said. And then he gets his foot stuck on what is gonna activate it,
he goes
and then
to,
it blows
tie
up.
his shoe.
Yeah,
and he just steps on the detonator.
Yeah, that's what Dana blows up the director, and he looks at him and he says, "I love this." He says, "You get off my set and get on my picture. You're out. You're through. You're washed. You're finished.
You're
I'm
ruined.
never
You're nothing.
You're
nothing."
And then, yeah, one of the funniest lines Bakshi says after that, he says, "Does that include television, sir?" And he's like, "Get out! Get out of the shoes here." Does that include television, sir? Yeah. And then we get to Hollywood, basically movie studios. Shit happens.
Yeah.
And then the director calls the big boss and makes sure Bakshi never works on a film set ever again. And he writes his name down. And then his secretary walks in and asks for the list at a party he's having at his place. And the lady sees Bakshi's name and thinks he just got added to the guest list, so he sends him an invite.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then we can cut to Bakshi. He's at home playing a sitar, and he gets mail, and then a banger of a song. The main theme of the song plays, and it's from the same composer as the Pink Panther movie. It's a shot in the dark. I guess explains why it sounds so much like Pink Panther and why the music is just so great. So I'm looking at more notes. Oh yeah, and then we get the very rich house
showing up at the party.
Yeah, this is where the movie really begins. Yeah, the opening starts off with some funny jokes and the main setup, and this is when the meat of the movie first begins.
Yeah, it's weird because I would say the opening feels more scripted compared to the rest of the movie, because I think this movie's famous
100%.
for just being very improvisational and
yeah, for sure. And we get this very rich house, And like you got all these nice cars, like these cars you would not believe. But then you get like Bakshi driving in this car. Like I'm having to get a shot of it, but it's so noticeably out of place.
It's a great car.
And the music's
I would drive that around.
Yeah, it sounds like a Indiana Jones car, Sean Connery. It's like that comes it.
What, like from Last Crusade with them?
Yeah, Last Crusade. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. And yeah, he kind of gets stuck between the parking space because, of course. And he walks in, and right off the bat, like shit already starts getting going like wrong for him. He knows he has mud on his shoe, and so he tries to step and try to put it in the water. And my notes are kind of out of place. But basically, it gets in the water. It falls off. It goes to the water chute. He's trying to get it, and then he like kneels down at people looking at him. He gives like a little kind of bowing thing, I respect, and there's like, oh, okay, sure. And yeah, his shoe's still in the water. He tries to get it out of a plant, and he hasn't spoken a word at all yet since his opening, but it still manages to be so hilarious because that's just Peter Sellers for you.
Well, that was another thing I read about this movie, is that they originally intended it to like do it with no dialogue. It was all going to be like
a silent comedy. Yeah,
which,
I was going to mention that as well.
I don't know. I'm not sure how you would do that. I'm just considering how the movie is now. Like it still has all of those moments, but at the same time, there's still dialogue scenes and.
Probably a good thing he didn't have a ton of dialogue, because you could tell when he had to do certain dialogue, the
accent wasn't 100%.
Yeah, because if he had to do like a monologue or something, it would go into like a ringa-dinga-dinga territory.
I mean, there is a bit of a monologue towards the end with the girl and everything.
That's more back and forth. It's not just him talking for an extended period of time, though.
Yeah, but still, sort of. I think I don't know. I guess it was fine.
Yeah, he tries to get the shoe out of a plant, and a shoe like flies all the way back into the kitchen, and it somehow manages to get onto a plate. And he's like, "Oh shit!" And then he like goes up to the waiter, and he's like, offers him food. He's like, "Well, I'm on a diet, but the hell with it." And again, like the first line he says, like, he hasn't spoken in a while. It's that, and it's magical. And then he gets offered vodka, a scotch, and he says, "No, I never touch it." And the guy drinks the scotch, which would be a very reoccurring thing. That's
the best character in the movie.
Yeah,
the waiter.
Yeah. We'll see him. We'll hear about him a lot more later, but it's the first drink he takes. No, it's like the first shot he takes, and then
he's not going to take it, I guess.
Yeah. All right, before I should I keep doing the Indian voice, or is that like offensive?
You might go into ringa-dinga-dinga territory.
Huh?
Why do you think it'll be offensive, or do you think?
I don't have to do.
I don't think anybody who watches this cares. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Plus, I checked out one of our largest audiences.
Yeah, check the analytics to see if India is watching.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm finished. I washed.
Yeah.
He goes around and joins other people's conversations. He starts like laughing with them to like feel comfortable with them. And he says, "Tonight is one big round of laughter, all fun and laughter." And then it gets revealed the congressman he was just telling, like, he got robbed.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yes, very good, very good."
Yeah, like, I love a good laugh.
like the producer, he's like, "No, he was telling us that he got robbed." He's like, "Oh, so funny."
Yeah. And then one line of dialogue I wrote down because I felt like we would like it or laugh at it is "Who's a foreigner?" Like one like rich snobs like, "Who's a foreigner?" I don't know. I just thought like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was very funny. Blatant.
Yeah. And then Bakshi tells him that dogs can only eat feet on humans, and because like a dog is like keeps like smelling his feet. He's like, "Oh, they can only eat feet on humans." And they don't really know how to react. It's like. They don't really question like why he's there, but still, just get on with their business. and then he gets offered scotch and vodka
No,
yet
the
again.
producer's like, oh, my wife must have invited him or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of later on, but yeah. And he gets offered scotch and vodka yet again by the waiter, and what do you know it? He takes another drink. And then a certain lady enters.
Game involved with this movie. If there's just like, oh, take a hit
Take a
every
drink
time.
every time the waiter takes a drink.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and that's like the immersive experience. To make that joke even more funny, that's like the immersive experience, like the way to watch this movie.
The waiter experience.
Yeah.
You're gonna be messed up by the end of the film because what he does by the end.
Yeah. He takes another shot, and then a certain lady enters the house with the producer that we saw in the beginning, who is outraged at Bakshi. And then Bakshi, he meets Wyoming Bill Kelso, who has a deadly handshake. Like, Anthony shakes his hand. He's like, oh, that hurts like so bad and whatnot. He nearly breaks his hand like every time. And then he kind of talks with them. Oh, and he calls them little buddy. He's like, hey, little buddy. Like every time he sees them.
It's a very American thing to call someone.
Yeah.
Like a little buddy.
Little buddy.
Yeah, very American.
Hey, little buddy.
Like a Yankee. Yeah. So he kind of talks to them a little bit. And then, I didn't write this down, but like this girl like comes up to him for a drink. And she's like, I don't see anything in there. And he's like, yeah, there is. He's like, I don't know. Or something like that. And then, yeah, he actually goes along, because he was a fan of Bill Kelso, has seen every one of his movies. He goes to his other room, and it's a toy gun, and he, tries to play darts, but then he shoots it, and it goes, right towards his head, his forehead. And then Kelso tries to look for him, and, he's comical. He's all the way out on the other side of the building,
which is another great
the thing that happened, how far away he gets, if he gets into trouble, yeah.
He is the original, I don't know, what's a superhero who teleports around?
Simon, do you know?
Nightcrawler.
Okay, fine, he's the Nightcrawler. He's Jake Gyllenhaal.
He uses instant transmission like he's Goku. There, happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied.
Oh yeah, then in that same scene, when this before he shoots him, he's asking he's playing pool, but then Bakshi says poo. He's like, no, pool. He's like, oh, poo. And then Bakshi, this is a woman dancing. He started dancing with her like he's at a wedding or something like that, like a groovy kind of 60s party dance. And the woman's like what the hell?
Disgusted with his dancing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the next scene we get is a genius scene. It's Birdie Num Num. And one of the special features in this movie, it's funny because everybody that worked at Peter Stella talked about how he came up with that on the spot, how genius and groundbreaking was the Birdie Num Num. I guess a Roger Ebert review, a genius of Birdie Num Num. But yeah, he looks at this bowl, a food pet bowl, and he says Birdie Num Num on it. And he looks at the bird. He's like, oh, Birdie Num Num. He's throwing I don't know what you call parrot food. But he's throwing parrot food.
They're little pellets.
Yeah, pellets. And he keeps throwing on it. Yeah, and he keeps aggressively throwing it at the cage, and people sitting on the couch look behind, and he tries to hide the ball, but it keeps spilling out for a while until it's it's completely on the floor.
Just the sound as well, how it's just.
Yeah, it's how drawn out it is. Yeah,
remind me a bit of Kung Pao, where he's like, Bertie.
Really?
Yeah. That's another movie we got to at some point too. That movie is bad shit. It's so funny. The next scene is one of my favorites. One of the funniest scenes for me. When I watched this movie, I had a playlist. I made it way back then. It was the funny videos, and this scene was one of them. It's the intercom scene.
Is this playlist still up on YouTube or?
It's not, but I can make it public after this. Yeah,
The Birdie Num Num playlist.
Yeah.
Was it just scenes from
Yeah.
this movie, or like just other random, low
Oh,
random
it's just random videos. Yeah, I thought were like hilarious at the time. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta dig it up. We gotta go through this at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably some cringe in there, but that's to be
Go
expected.
through Ethan's past,
Yeah.
psychoanalyze
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. You go to the intercom, and then there's like a bunch of switches, buttons on it, like gadgets. It's ridiculous. And then he switches something. And he's like, "Pop, pop, pop, pop," but making a bird noise, like birdie num num, which goes through like the entire party. Everyone's saying was like birdie num num, and making like all these noises, like tiger noises and whatnot. And it's just, and then he like pushes another button or switch, and like the mini bar like completely like just gets rid of.
Just drags into the wall or something.
It contracts back into the wall.
Yeah. And all the drinks and plates fall.
Would that work today at all?
I don't know.
Like,
sure
would like
all kinds of
like
stuff
Google
like
Home
that.
and stuff where it's just.
Well, it's like, have you ever seen the film The Game Plan starring The Rock?
No, I have not.
So, like, his daughter goes into the bathroom, and the bathroom is like a... The one thing I could probably compare it to is like a Roman bathhouse. Like, it's just this massive bath, and, like, the shower is, like, just the ceiling, pretty much. It's like rich people stuff like that.
Oh.
It's like, if they can think of it, they can afford it.
They'll just do it.
Yeah.
And then like the like big movie studio guy, like he has like a phone call, and the doctor tries to get the phone for him. Isn't that like one of my favorite bits? I'd say like the first like 30-40 minutes or so of this movie is probably my favorite because it's just back to back like nonstop jokes, and all of them just work. And with this one, like he's like holding the phone, but like the big studio guy, I forget his name. He's like, it's all like intertwined, I guess. Like it's a mess basically.
Yeah, he's just like trying to
and like he tries to give him the phone. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it very well, but yeah. And then eventually, it's not kind of drawn out scene, which makes it even funnier for me. And then eventually, he gets the phone. And then he gets offered another vodka or scotch yet again. And what do you know it? The waiter takes another drink, which I think is his drink count. If you want to put a shot count, you can if you want to. It's fine.
I would just have to look at it and just count all the drinks, go back through the movie, and just have like scoreboard every time the waiter takes a drink, just writing it down.
And then he comes across Wyoming Bill Kelso again, and he like hurts his hand like really badly again. His handshake, he got a strong grip. He's like, "Hey, little buddy!" Yet again. And it hurts so bad, he has to stick his hand in caviar, and he thinks it's poo. He smells it, he's like, poo? And he tries to go to the bathroom, and then...
Like every bathroom.
Oh, the guy who's... Yeah, it's like a million bathrooms in his like very rich house. And the guy who's in the bathroom... The guy who's in the bathroom with the wig, like, shakes back his hand with the caviar. And then the producer shakes his boss's hand and he smells it. And then we get to this diamond of a scene.
Oh,
it's the dinner scene.
The scene it's really talking about.
Yeah, this scene, like I'd say it's like the longest. It takes like the longest chunk of the movie, but like, it's great. Like it never feels like slow. It never gets boring. It's just again back to back.
Something's always happening here.
Yeah, so shit's always going wrong here. And like so much happens in the scene. My notes for the scene are like completely scrambled, but we're gonna try.
It's just like waiter.
So actually,
first they're like they're setting up, right?
Yeah.
They don't have enough chairs because he was never supposed to be invited in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
They basically just give him like a footstool to sit on.
Yeah, he doesn't get to move seats. Yeah.
So he's on that, and he's like right in front of like the waiter's door.
Mm-hmm.
The servants' quarters.
Yeah. But then once they move seats, like they all have to move back to the original seats, and yeah, he has to sit in that footstool basically.
It's the saddest
And
image
this is
as
when he
well,
starts to
just
see,
him sitting on that footstool.
yeah,
It's just like, oh.
The foreigner shall sit over there.
yeah. And this is when we start to see the guy, like he's offering drinks. Like this is when he starts to get full like effect. Like we see him take shots, but we don't really see him like get drunk. But at this point, like, he started to get like
He's
hammered
gone. He's
right here.
gone.
Yeah, he's at this point. Yeah, he's gone. By this point, yeah.
He's so wasted. Like he gets the wine like thing stuck in that chick's hair,
Yeah,
and he pours the
of
drink
course.
through her hair into the glass.
Yeah. And then one of entrees is a chicken. And Bakshi tries to cut the chicken, and it flies. It just it flies
Like a
in the
pheasant
form of
or
its crown.
something.
What do you mean in a pheasant?
I don't think it was chicken. Was it
was
like
chicken.
pheasant or something?
Oh, I
Was
don't.
it chicken?
I don't know. It was some animal.
It was a chicken.
I just wrote on chicken. Yeah.
It looked like a chicken. It probably tasted like chicken.
Oh, in the Sod household, they each get their own small chicken for supper.
Yes, every night, mother
Yes,
comes out in the kitchen with
And then if we're
a
feeling
chicken
a little
on every
peckish,
plate.
a little surf and turf later. The Sod household is eating good tonight, I tell you.
Yeah, then we go outside and like throw champagne on the homeless.
Over the fence.
And then he offers Bakshi wine, but then he's like, "No, I don't want any." But then he tries to put his hand over the glass. He keeps like pouring wine on his hand. And then he pours the wine through a girl's hair. And then the guy, he has the cork in his mouth. He gets hit by a door and he swallows the whole cork somehow. You know, obviously you would choke to death maybe in real life, but this is a comedy, so who cares? It's funny.
It's really
and
funny,
then
this man choking.
The movie just stops being about Peter Sellers and becomes the waiter's film.
Yeah. Which, like, I don't really mind, honestly. I love Peter Sellers, but I don't really mind this guy because he's so dedicated to playing a drunk. Like, I've never seen a more dedicated drunk, like, in my life in cinema history, I'd say. The way this guy plays is just...
What?
Jim Leahy might have something to say about that.
Oh, that's true. But I said cinema history, that's like television, but like in general, I will give you that.
Trailer Park Boys movies, so
okay, that's true. I will give you that. Never mind, Mr. Leahy.
I guess is another one.
Okay, no, like that's a great movie, but this is Mr. Leahy, John Dunsworth, R.I.P. John Dunsworth. We're talking about this diamond of a man, Mr. Leahy. Never try shit,
Trailer
Wolf
Park
Sod.
Boys episode, but I have to get Sod to watch all 12 seasons, 5 movies.
I've never seen anything of Trailer Park Boys.
Oh my god!
Real look into Canadian culture.
Yeah. The weird thing is, like, I've seen like 10 seasons and like almost season 11 until I gave up on the Netflix shit. But I haven't seen the movies, weirdly enough. Like, I need to watch I want to rewatch the show first, but I need to watch the first movie at least. But that could be an episode if I want to commit to like, because isn't the movie like after season 6?
The first movie takes place before season, I want to say 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to watch a couple
I'll
seasons.
do it. If it means we can also do Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, we can force Simon to watch a whole television show as well.
No, yeah, we're probably not going to
I've
do
seen
that.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I love the show, but I don't know. But this movie,
I haven't seen The Return. I don't know if I'll ever.
Yeah.
Just no.
My thing.
And then, he put salad. The waiter, he put salad onto people's plates with his hands. Like he doesn't get like a little spoon or anything.
They didn't even get to finish making the salad because he just grabs the bowl before he puts
takes it out
the topping and garnishes on.
Yeah.
Just grabbing it.
And the head waiter just keeps choking him.
Yeah, I don't know why you can actually go through the right there. Yeah,
just strangling him.
Each other. And then the door I get closed. It's once it opens again. I
love this.
Each other.
No, here's why the swinging door gag is better than the trumpet gag. They do it 3 times, and it's perfectly timed. They don't overdo
I
it.
guess
It's not like 3 minutes straight of the door swinging back and forth, and each time doing something different.
Just like people just walk in and just randomly get hit. Like it's
Yeah, and the sellers like during meanwhile, if you look at like obviously your like the main intention is like them like choke each other. But if you look at Bakshi, he's like putting butter on his hands. Like he's so distracted by the chaos that's going on. He's like spreading butter on his hands of his fork. I missed out like the first time because I was so drawn to them choking each other. Like rewatching and taking notes. I was looking at Bakshi. He's like spreading butter on his hands. Like
there's a lot of subtle things happening in the background of the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, he is having a nice conversation with that one blonde lady.
Yeah. Who's one of the people in this movie is not completely rude to Bakshi.
Yeah, one of like the 3 people who are completely like ready to kill him.
Yeah, and the only people is like Bill Kelso, the French woman, and then this blonde woman. Yeah, it's like the only 3
Bill
people
Kelso
that
has that subtle 60s racism.
Yeah, but like he's still like nice to him, I guess.
Yeah, like he doesn't.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil the ending
or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but as he goes, "Hey, little buddy," but he's obviously meant to be a kind of like, cowboy.
Well, to him, it's probably like endearing.
Yeah, yeah. The icing on the cake for the scene, literally, like the icing on the cake, is this guy has a cake out, but the door like knocks over the drunk waiter, and Pearso stands up. And he basically the cake is all over him, and the guy like chokes him again, and Pearso is outside, he's all the way like outside again. It's another like
magical powers again.
Yeah, he's just gone. So that's like the dinner scene.
It's just the way like the camera pans. I love the way the camera pans over to him as well. It's just perfect. It's just like, oh no, he's over there now.
Like at the beginning of the dinner scene, they're served strawberry soup, and he like tastes it, and like he immediately dumps it out.
Oh yeah, I think
like, this is
that.
disgusting.
Yeah. What strawberry soup?
and then it cuts to like 2 other people like, oh, this soup is fantastic. It's amazing. It's the best soup I've ever had. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like all over it now. It's like trying to impress like the other rich people. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, and he smells it. He also thinks it's poo again. So yeah, there's that. Some more poo humor for you there, P comedy. Bakshi apologizes to the woman, and then he's like, "Oh, it's a fine, darling." He's like, "Oh, a guy polite and southern to him." He's like, "Oh, it's fine, darling. Like, you don't have to apologize to my husband. It's okay." And Bakshi's like, "Oh, I feel like I have to."
I will apologize to him. I will be very, very grateful.
Yeah. And he goes over to apologize to the husband, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay." He's like smoking a long, sort of fat cigar. He's like, "Oh, it's okay."
It's all right.
Yeah,
it's very all right.
Yeah, no, like the whole time he's like, "Oh, I am so sorry." He's like, "Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Basically, yeah,
it's fine."
It's like the South Park. Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine.
And once he tells him it's fine.
No, it's all right. It's really all right. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I tell you, it's fine.
It's quite all right.
Attaboy, it's fine.
No, you don't have to apologize. It's fine.
He gets his tie stuck on his arm.
Okay. All right.
Gets his tie stuck in his arm.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine.
So once you escape.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. It's all forgiven. It's all right.
Yeah, it goes
okay.
all.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right.
It goes all the way back.
And that's how long the scene went on for.
I mean, yeah, you did it justice. That's how long that scene goes on for.
How the scene goes.
Yeah. It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. You're good.
He just kept apologizing. Oh, it's all right. Like every single time, it's like it's like the way he says it's all right or it's okay. It's like a small divergent each time, and then he goes like, right back to it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's water under my water feature.
And then he gets offered another drink by the waiter, and he takes another drink because, of course. But then Bakshi, he has to use the restroom, and it goes over to like a bartender, and there's like this note you can't hear the dialogue in this moment. But like he has a pee. Basically, the way he's acting is like, oh, okay, he has to urinate.
Yeah, he's gotta go pee.
And then, he opens a different door. It's a room full of men, and one of the best line deliveries for this movie
the band.
he's like smoking cigars, and he's like, "Hey, close the door, man!" And when he puts out the door,
dude.
yeah, he's like, "Hey, close the door, man!" And the way he says that, it's like one of the funniest like line deliveries in this movie for me. Oh, speaking of funny line deliveries, the drunk waiter, I think he gets hit by a door and he like slides all the way to the up the stairs, and he like drunkenly goes downstairs. And then I think the big studio guy, he's like talking to the French woman. He's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna sing. You said you were gonna sing. Just show me your talent." And then she's like, "Oh, I wasn't ready." But he's like, "Oh, we have a guitar." And then he's like, "Hey, waiter, come over here." And the waiter comes over. And the guy's like, "Get the guitar." And then the waiter, he's like, "Get the guitar." Like his eyes like, what?
The guitar.
His eyes like bulging. His eyes like wide open.
Like his facial expression is like, "Get the guitar."
It's very straightforward, yeah. If I can include that if you don't get in trouble by YouTube, that'd be amazing. That's like one of the best line deliveries. Like, "Get the guitar." The way he said that makes me laugh my ass off.
Get the guitar.
Get the guitar.
Yeah, and here it is.
I think Saj should be able to include it.
Yeah, for sure.
When have I not included anything?
It's literally like 2 seconds. It falls under fair use.
Exactly, yeah.
Go flip herself.
It's literally like 2 seconds, and just "Get the guitar," and that's
Unless
it.
Susan just really hates the party, we should be alright.
I mean, whoever hates this movie,
The party is racist.
no.
Why does she sound like a goblin? Or just...
It kind of looks like a goblin.
And Sellers goes outside and he triggers the sprinklers, and he goes back inside. He's like soaking wet, and then the French woman is performing her song, and the song is "Nothing to Lose." It's I'll admit, it's a very nice song. I like her voice, and it's a nice song. I like the vocals, and I like the vocals.
Yeah, it's a good song, but you just have Peter Sellers in the background, just like... he's just there, and it's good.
Like he's like watching there, and he's like trying to like appreciate it and smile for her, but he wants a piece so bad inside. People put this image on the screen, like he's like visibly in pain. His facial expression just kills me. He's like, "I want to go to the bathroom so bad, but I want to support your singing and whatnot." Yeah. And he's like watching her for a while, and then like he what's the word? He kind of just like turns his back around, and everyone's like, "What the hell? Like, what's wrong with this guy?" And then he's
also soaking wet at this point because he tried to go piss in the lawn, but the sprinklers went off.
Yeah, so he's like soaking wet, and like he's like slowly walking out as the song ends. And so that's basically that scene. And then he pees, and then okay, so another moment absolutely love.
And he just fucks everything up.
Yeah, basically he just ruins everything. It's great.
He flushes the toilet, and then the toilet's going. It's like, okay, it's in the toilet. He washes his hands. The toilet is still going. It keeps going and going and going, like comedically. And then, like, he gets toilet paper. He drops toilet paper, and the whole roll, is drawn up. His whole roll, it's like unfolds. It's like watching it happen, and us as the audience members, we're just watching this like happen. It's like, oh, he's like a minute straight.
What was with that toilet paper? It was like,
it's like what? Yeah, the color, I guess. Yeah,
what do you mean it was
discolored? I don't know what's up with that. Why'd you say
discolored?
It's like it was really yellow.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
Yeah.
Gold was it gold plated toilet paper?
That's the average 60s toilet paper.
Like I've seen like slightly yellow toilet paper in like some disgusting bathrooms before.
No, but this is like rich people.
Yeah, I know,
bathroom.
but maybe like
what
I'm suggesting is that like maybe the 60s had it right, and just like using yellow disgusting toilet paper in your rich house was actually really a sign of status. But now it's just
inflated. It's like inflated with the studio logo.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like you got
A
like
rival studio logo.
yeah. This was MGM, right? So we can just like assume Disney or like 20th Century Fox or Warner Brothers is on there.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention before this
Columbia
scene.
Pictures. I wipe my ass with Columbia Pictures.
This is what I think of Columbia Pictures.
Ah.
He tries to find the restroom again. He's like in the same room as like the guy. He tries to get his way with the French girl. He's like kind of being rapey with her a little bit, and it's
No,
Yeah,
very.
random.
yeah.
like,
Okay, sure,
attempted
very.
rape scene.
Yeah, yeah, and then
60s style.
yeah. And then he goes. Yeah, this is when the bathroom scene happens. Yeah, toilet paper is like all folding, and then eventually stops. He puts all the toilet paper in the toilet. He makes it even worse by clogging it, essentially. And the toilet starts flooding.
Flooding it.
Yeah, as expected. And then, like, and yeah, he also uses, like, a painting. He, like, gets the toilet paper and, like, ruins a painting as well.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
he lifts up the back and he, like, bumps the painting, and now the painting's all wet.
And he like tries to try it, but just smudges it and makes it. Honestly, it looks better. Honestly, when he's finished with it.
Yeah. And like a piece of like the toilet, like it breaks and it falls like down the ceiling and to like the band's like a drum. Like the drum is like has like a hole in it now. And the drummer's like, what the hell? Like he doesn't say that, but he's like looks up and he keeps on playing like nothing just happened. He's like, okay, I'll keep going along with it.
He's a
That's
professional. Even though he
yeah,
almost
he's
died.
dedicated to his craft. Yeah.
He stays.
Them and the Titanic band, nobody's gonna stop him from playing.
Yeah. And then he like goes out what Bakshi is. He goes out a window, but then like he falls in the pool, and then he's like soaking wet. He's like, oh, like I can't swim. And then Bill Kelsey's like, hey, buddy, what are you doing in the water? He's like, I'm trying. He's like, I can't swim, but Bill Kelsey's like trying to be nice to him. He was like, hey, buddy, how you doing? The French girl's like, he's drowning and whatnot. He goes in, gets him out of water. Yeah, the hero. Well, second hero of the movie besides Bakshi, and
I'm not getting this drip wet, son.
The party in 2023. Yeah,
No, we don't want that movie.
No, that movie's been made. It's like House Party remake of the.
Like I imagine this movie's been like done to death since. There's been like so many variations of it, but like
party movies.
What I'm thinking of is like a bunch of like influences. And I'm just seeing like another basically what that Logan Paul movie like that knockoff of
which I watched by the way, Airplane Mode, which I watched it by the way,
except for this.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Why would you say?
Yeah, this suit was buzzing for no god on cap basically in 2023.
I like the suit that Sellers has.
He wears.
It's a nice suit.
Yeah. It's very nice.
I mean,
yeah.
I like all the clothing here, even though like a lot of it is ridiculous. It's
No,
funny.
the costume design.
I wear Kelso's jean jacket.
Yeah, his Canadian jacket. Yeah.
Canadian tuxedo.
It's like a tuxedo. Yeah. Yeah. So like he's like, and then he's like soaking wet. His suit is soaking wet. It's just like, get out of his clothes. And like they offer him alcohol. He's like, no, I don't want alcohol. And they give him alcohol, and like he's like off. He's like, it's like he like had how much sugar there is in that whole house. He consumed like every sugar in the world, like jumping up and down the bed and whatnot. He's like super hyper.
He's having a great time.
Yeah, and never gonna take his clothes off, which he struggled with until they get like a little red like PJs from. And Bill Kelso is like, he's like, you get dressed, I'm leaving, If you still come downstairs soaking wet, he'll, I forget what he said, but yeah. So he gets that red, like, PJ on, and then.
Like a jumpsuit, really.
Yeah.
And like the producer guy.
Oh, sorry?
It looked. It's weird, like, because you say it's PJs, but it looked more like frickin' astronaut suit.
What do you need an astronaut suit?
What?
Like a jumpsuit.
How do you... Astronaut suit and jumpsuit are two different things, though.
Yeah, but you live upside down, so shut up.
No, I'm not gonna shut up. I'm confused now. So
That's it.
Well,
We're
no,
all.
because like you said, it didn't look like PJs. It looked just like a movie prop jumpsuit.
yeah, but why'd you say astronaut suit earlier?
Well, because you got like your suit. Because they usually have jumpsuits on under the astronaut.
What, bright red pajama-looking things?
Well, maybe it was a Russian movie. I don't know.
Pierce, I mean, I almost called Saw Pierce Sellers. No, Sajic. If you could pop an image of him and this outfit, I'm not gonna call it anything. We should call it an outfit from now on, and we can let the people decide. Like the maybe people that will watch this.
Comment down below.
Yeah.
Whatever. What do you think? We're not gonna read these comments anyway.
Nobody comments.
Yeah,
what are you talking
exactly.
about?
Yeah. Besides me, it's from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah, with something really here's like Ethan's most disgusting comment. I'm gonna put it up because I had to give it the pin of shame as well.
I knew you would love that. And then the producer guy, is like yelling at the French girl. Basically, he's like mad at her. Basically,
For not.
and then Pierce Sellers. What you're saying, Sod?
Yeah, just basically for not sleeping with him.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll
essentially,
never work in this town again. You're done. You're through.
It's like, what a despicable person.
And then Bakshi, being a nice guy he is, he checks in on this woman, saying if she's okay, because he's like crying, she's in distress, she's upset, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then like he starts to leave the room, but he comes back again. He's like, "I feel like you're not being very honest with me." She's like, "I'm not." And yeah, they have a nice little dialogue or conversation. Bakshi tells her some sayings in India that like she likes. It was very pretty, but she doesn't understand it. He's like, "Oh, neither do I." Like it's like the first real moment. Like these characters actually have some chemistry, which is nice because like on the poster, it's like him and this girl like on like every poster, but we don't really see them really like. I mean, we see him talk like earlier in the hallway, like during one bit. I forgot to mention. Yeah, like we didn't really have much chemistry in it really until now. Yeah, it's a nice scene. Oh, the producer guy comes back again. You know, he's all mad again. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And then one of my favorite lines in this movie, Bakshi says, in India, we don't think who we are. We know who we are. And the guy says, "You're my sugar." And then Bakshi says, "I am not your sugar." You're my sugar, but I'm not your sugar. So the way he says that, like, so honestly, is hilarious. And then yeah, the producer guy is like, I'm going home. Like enough with y'all. So yeah, he leaves for now, goes home. Bakshi tells her, you know, stay at the party. We're gonna have a lot of fun. You know, don't leave. And she's like, okay, why not? We have a dance downstairs. And so yeah, they do. They go downstairs, start dancing, and he dances with her like she did with that one lady. Like he's at like a wedding or something like that. Like, but like he's not. But then she teaches her, oh no, this is how you dance in the '60s. Give up the times in America, Bakshi, basically. Yeah. And so they want to move the bar, so Bakshi does so. And then the drunk waiter controls where the intercom was, a lot of buttons and gadgets and stuff. And then yeah, the mom's son, like the mom of the house, like her son comes home with a bunch of like I assume like high school or college students.
Isn't it her daughter? I thought it was her daughter.
The dirty hippies.
Yeah, it wasn't a daughter who comes in with like all her friends and
the producer and his wife's daughter or whatever.
Yeah, but they bring an elephant.
Yeah, they said they were going to do a protest, and yeah, a bunch of these like kids like walk into his house with like an elephant with a bunch of like literature on him, a bunch of paintings, and then
a bunch of misinformation like the Earth is flat.
Yes, I saw that as well.
And the elephant, yeah, I was looking out for stuff that was written as well. And this insults Bakshi. Bakshi sees this elephant. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, and she's like, "Oh, like, actually, I don't have this really part written down, but like, Bakshi is insulted, saying some of the things that's written on it. There's something on his bum, the elephant's bum. He's like, you gotta wash the elephant, wash it completely."
Disrespecting my culture, sacred animal.
Yeah.
or something.
And she's like, everybody gonna watch the elephant. All the students like, what do you mean watch the elephant? Hey, come on, man, what do you mean watch the elephant? We watch the elephant.
It's funny because at first she's just like, oh, I'm so sorry, we didn't know, and just first she's just like going off at her still, like, just watch the elephant, get it off.
So they all agree to watch the elephant. So like they take the French girl, she's on the elephant. They go into the house and they get like a bunch of like sponges, soap, buckets of water from the house, and they like take the elephant. Bakshi tells them take the elephant back outside, and they wash all the like paintings on the elephant. Yeah, which results into chaos basically. This is when the real party really happens at the end. They like wash the elephant. They like on the intercom thing. They like remove more ground. There's like a whole pool in this rich house. Everybody like, jumps in the pool or whatnot, including like the guy's wife, the big studio guy. His wife falls into the pool. There's another great line of dialogue I wrote. His friend tells him, "Your wife just fell in the pool," and the guy's like, "Get her jewelry."
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. Get her jewelry though.
It's fine.
It's all right. Gotta need some jewelry though.
Yeah.
Save
And
that.
then she's all wet, and like her assistant or whatever takes her upstairs to calm her down.
Mm-hmm. Which she does for a while, and then music is going on the whole time. Like the band, I think they call them the Russians at the end earlier. Like they got invited to the house to play music, and they're playing the whole time.
They're just still going.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah,
it's just
people
total
like
Were the
chaos.
Russians there? But the Russians were there before the hippies were, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that was earlier. Yeah, and then
They're doing Russian things.
Like what?
this is I'm interested
drinking.
too. Sure, and raging. Yeah, the dancing. Yeah, sure.
Bears
And
on
drinking
motorcycles, you know.
Yeah.
Invading
And this
other
one of the
countries.
This is when the theme song plays. Do you want to try and sing the theme song?
Okay.
It's like the
It's
party.
my party,
No,
and
let's
I'll cry
from the
if I
top,
want.
from the
Oh,
top,
no.
from the top. We'll do it at the same time. Just like a 1, a 2, 1, 2, 3.
The party is groovy. Everything is groovy.
Party.
It's just
we were
talking
about this earlier.
Party.
The only thing we could make out was it's the party, it's groovy, and that's it. The rest is just mumbling.
It's Simlish. After the song becomes Simlish after that.
Yeah, Katy Perry's Simlish.
Yeah, like, it's a very catchy song. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
catchy,
wait.
but
I
we
can't
don't know
remember
what
a
they're
single.
actually saying.
Yeah, I can't remember a single lyric besides "the party is groovy." After that, it's just catchiness, but I can't tell you what else is sad after that.
I couldn't imagine trying to work on that set once they foamed it up.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to mention too. Yeah, I told Simon Son in the group chat that like I watched one of the special features on my Blu-ray after I watched the movie, and it talked about how that set once it became an ending sequence, and it was all that foam in the swimming pool like everywhere. It was so hard to breathe on that set, and when people were like, like once they tried to get on surface, once they got out, they could hardly breathe still. So like, I guess there's like so much foam in that room that like it was horrible. It was like a hell and misery for everybody on the set. And, like once we watched the movie, everybody's having a good time of dancing, but in reality, like that set was like pure torture for everyone to be a part of.
Yeah, so at the because as you were saying, at that point, the mom comes out of the room again. She sees all the foam. She's like, she faints again, falls off the balcony again. I feel bad for the stunt person who had to do that the second time, going into the foam, because the foam was like almost up to the balcony at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
is
if you screw up
terrifying.
and you could directly under the balcony is floor,
Mm-hmm.
and then beside that is the water.
If you can't
But
see,
the person doing the stunt fell backwards. You don't know where you're going because there's so much foam everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they were saying too. Like they didn't really know where they're going because they couldn't. Their vision wasn't good. There was like foam everywhere. They couldn't see well. and yeah, it got to a point like we're gonna have to have like other people like find their actors because for a while, once they were done, there was like some people like where are they? It's like are they still underwater? It's like what are the people dead? But then no, everyone turned out okay. Thank God by the end they said.
Because they were asking, it's like, oh, we have to move the bar. So Peter Sellers, he's like, oh, I know how to do that. He goes over, he screws up again, drops a bunch of people into the water again.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, like, everything's malfunctioning. Everything's going wrong. Foam everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, like, the producer, he's like, we need to get the paintings upstairs.
Yeah. So save the paintings. Yeah.
Save the paintings. So, like, the one, I think it's, like, the lead waiter or whatever, assistant. He goes and he's trying to grab the picture, the painting of his wife and stuff. He rips it off the wall. All the cords are coming with him. He's like, no, not that one. Only the good stuff.
Yeah. And also, the producer wakes up. He's like, "Bakshi!" Like, he realizes, like,
yeah, he just remembers out of the blue. He just like has like a Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, he like left after he tried to rape that chick. Sorry. Oh, better go to bed.
Yeah.
You reflect.
And then, basically, yeah, it's this utter chaos. We're partying. The song is still going.
Become the Black Dahlia.
And then, like one of the last shots, the last shot of like the actual party happening is Bakshi and McGrill dancing. It's a very lovely shot. It's one of my favorite shots in the movie. And the song playing meanwhile is beautiful. It's
and also the waiter's like him and that like alcoholic.
Yeah, they both find each other. It's beautiful.
The guy she was with tries to take her alcohol. He's walking by. He's pissed. He grabs the alcohol bag, gives it to her, and he goes and sits down. And they're at the bar just drinking together. Foam everywhere. And then the band is still playing while the foam is consuming them.
Yeah. I forgot to mention, during that scene, also part of special features, during that scene, they talked about the actor played the waiter. Once he dived into the pool, again, he couldn't like breathe. So like the scene where like the girl poured like liquor over him, you can't see it, but the actor, he was trying to, he was telling her, pour this on me. I need something to drink because like he accidentally swallowed a bit of foam. So he's like telling her, like pour something. Yeah, he swallowed
like,
foam.
It actually, like in the scene, if you watch the scene, I was like this guy actually looks like he's in distress because she's in like one of those like weaving basket things over the pool, and she's like luring him over, and he's like, she's like trying to swim, and he's even though you see him throughout the whole film, like piss face, he actually looked like he was not doing great in that scene.
But at the end, I'd say it's worth it though, because like I give him this guy all props for this drug performance he pulled off. What a mad lad. So yeah, he was like, yes, a smaller foam and trying to tell her to pour something. That part was like entirely improvised, obviously, because she wasn't gonna pour down in his face, but he was like telling her, to do so. But they still kept him in the movie because like it's fit, because obviously he's like an alcoholic clearly, so like still fit with the movie.
Just fits with like the whole movie in general.
I honestly thought we were gonna get a shot of like there's so much foam it's gonna burst the front doors open. We never got that.
Oh, you think there was gonna be like an exterior shot of like foam coming out of the windows?
Yeah,
I
was thinking like from all the movie posters I've seen, I was like, is there gonna be a shot of just like Peter Sellers and the girl standing in front of the doors and all the foam bursts out and there they are?
What, just trying to hold it back or just like leaving?
Oh, they're just standing there like all the foam past them and then they walk into shot. It's like, oh, okay, I guess we leave now.
Yeah, we never got that.
There's that huge backyard for the foam to be pushing that way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We got
really
enough foam action and...
Yeah. If you want foam, then this movie's... This ending is definitely for you. If you're like...
Well, we didn't want the foam like all over their cars.
Yeah. As long as they're thinking about she's car.
They need to like just destroy their cars with foam just to show how truly dedicated they are.
Putting that makeup on every time must have sucked, especially the hand stuff, because you see this like the scene where he gets it in the caviar and he goes to wash it off. Like the skin makeup doesn't wash off with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that must have been a bitch to do.
Yeah, I love how much like Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. That's like sobbed. I forgot to mention, but it is true. During a scene like it's like they're like choking each other in dinner scene. Like Blake Edwards, like he was like dying laughing during that whole scene. Like he was like on the floor, like howling, cackling at the scene when Blake Edwards was like directing this movie. Yeah, because it was improvised, so he wasn't expecting that.
It's really funny because like the door swings, you see him yelling at him, the door swings again, you see him getting closer, and then the next time you see it swing, he's full on fucking choking him.
Yeah. And speaking of
every other time he sees him throughout the party, he just starts choking him for no reason.
Yeah,
it's just what I do.
Out of pure hatred, he just starts choking him.
Yeah.
Like when there's foam everywhere, he just starts choking them and they fall into the foam.
They get
that much of pure hatred for each other. And Blake Edwards is an individual. Like right off the bat, that special feature, like he's a very like kind of depressed figure. Like in the beginning, he talked about how horrible his childhood was and whatnot, and like how him directing comedies was like his way to get out of that. So like obviously he was like wanting to work always. And also went into like him and Pearsall's relationship kind of being on and off, because like as much as Pearsall, as amazing as he was a complete like control freak like to work with. Like it's almost like at times he was directing the movie and the director actually wasn't. And with this movie, like because like Blake and Peter, they didn't really always work with each other. It was like a whole like hiatus. They didn't work with each other.
Isn't this the only movie they did together that wasn't Pink Panther?
Yeah. They mentioned that as well. Yeah. And then because for this movie he thought I'm just gonna let Peter do his thing, because it's gonna be a very improvised movie. It's probably not gonna be a whole lot of directing. I'm just gonna let Peter do his thing. And that's how the movie really turned out. Yeah. So I don't know, I thought it was neat. So that's why I like the actual movie. The actual party ends. It's like ambulances, firemen. It's
just everyone.
Bunch of yeah.
Like it just cuts to morning after like
the night of
chaos,
foam and chaos.
Mm-hmm. And then the producer like walks in. He's like in panic, trying to find Bakshi. But then
it took him 9 hours to get across LA traffic.
Yeah.
To the house.
But then
just to tell him that who this man is.
Well, he couldn't call him because everything's under foam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. And one of the darkest like jokes in this movie, but I was like laughing so much at when I was rewatching it, is the wife is it's implied she gets sent into a mental institution. She's like all strapped up and whatnot. It's like it's implied she's gone crazy. She's acting crazy.
She's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, but like she's fine, but it's like implied she's about to go to a mental institution, which I think that joke comes out of nowhere, but it makes it even more funny.
Husband just like doesn't care.
The husband just doesn't care.
Then,
it's like it's fine.
It's literally like,
fine.
oh, she'll be fine.
She'll be alright. It's fine. Did you get her jewelry though?
Yeah. And that shitty painting.
Mm-hmm. So the producer walks up to the Bakshi talks to the big movie studio guy. Tells him
apologizes again.
Yeah,
and we get it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Again. And then he leaves.
And the producer guy goes up to him. He says, "It's Bakshi who blew up the location." And the general tries to choke Bakshi, but he chokes a guy in the kitchen instead. And they get into
doesn't he choke the guy who was choking the other waiter?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah,
that he was
so
choking.
Comes full circle.
Like, no, that's not him.
Yeah. And then Bakshi leaves the house with the French girl, and then when Bill Kelso stops them as in the car. It's like the final interaction we have with them. He's like, "Hey, little buddy." He's like, he gives him his hat.
Here's my
he autograph, gives him a hat, and then Bakshi's like trying to rush out. I was like, "Okay, thank you." He just drives away. And then the "Nothing to Lose" song that the girl was singing in that one scene is playing again, and it's a very lovely. I love this ending so much. And they drive to French girl's house. they have a little interaction telling him, oh, you forgot your tie. He's like, no, it's fine. He's like, well, when do you want it back? He's like, oh, next time I see you. But he's like, I have it right here. He's like, oh, no. And next time I see you, I'll take it back. She's like, okay. And again, more great chemistry between
Can I
the
come
two.
get it next week, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really nice hat. I'll be here tomorrow to get it.
Yeah. And yeah, that she enters the house. Back, she goes to his car, and you get a shot of the license plate. And our hero, he drives off into the sunset,
As he deserves.
and we get that very
Drives off on Sunset Boulevard.
he and then you get a very 60s font that says "The End," and then with the credits, it shows like all the actors, but after that, the movie
It's
just
for
ends.
like a minute long, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah, just barely a minute of credits.
I mean, that's how short credits were at that time, though. It was like once the movie was over, the movie was over.
Honestly, like when I watch a Western, it's like here's the credits at the beginning, and then like a quick blurb at the end. Here's the studio and everything.
Yeah.
It's like okay, it's end. Like you can leave now.
That's it. I know. I missed that. Yeah, I get like real Bravo, like True Grit. I get what you mean. It was like beginning credits, and then the end. And the movie just cut out. That was it. Once it was the end, it was just the end. Yeah. And so. Yeah, that's the party for you. Great movie. I think it's a lot of fun. Very lovely. It was y'all's first time seeing it, and I wanted somebody else to watch this movie to maybe see if they like it. But yeah, how do y'all feel about it overall?
Should I go first? Or
I mean, it doesn't matter, but I guess if you volunteers, it's true.
Yeah, overall, I really liked it a lot. It was just because it's kind of hard to talk about movies like these, just because they're like so simple. Because you can
So
just say
improvised.
how just like with a comedy like this, you can just only say how funny it is, and the movie is really funny. But then you got how
it's really fast paced too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It goes from gag to gag, but it all still manages to feel natural, which is, I think, one of the best things about it. It doesn't feel forced, aside from maybe that joke at the beginning. But aside from that, it's just really funny, and it's Peter Sellers. He's the only man who can get away. Peter Sellers is the only man who can get away with brown face.
Wait, I can't think of anybody else, actually. So I was gonna say something, but I can't wait to think of
even people who say the movie is kind of racist, they also just
to be fair, Justin Trudeau got away with it.
No. Yeah, but I've read some reviews saying yeah, this performance is incredibly racist, but it's Peter Sellers, so it's okay.
I think it's that racist because his accent isn't even like South Park, a Durka stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
It's just an accent.
He's that character. Yeah,
he's acting.
Yeah, he's an amazing character actor. Like Dr. Strangelove, he plays 3 different people in that, and he completely becomes those characters, and he is believable.
Yeah, I still think that's my favorite Peter Sellers performances, just in that one movie.
I mean,
but this is also great as well. I think Being There is also up there as being another favorite performance.
I gotta watch that.
I think I gotta watch that for sure. It's by the same guy who did Harold and Maude.
Blake Edwards.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh no. Hal Ashby. Yeah. Hal Ashby. Yeah. Harold and Maude director. Yeah. Which makes it even more interesting because I absolutely love Harold and Maude. Love that movie.
But overall,
and as far as Blake Edwards. Oh, sorry.
No,
I guess
you go. I was just gonna say my final score is a 3.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it.
Right on. And I was just gonna say Blake Edwards. I definitely watched. I want to go through more of his filmography because I think a lot of Pink Panther movies on Prime right now for me. So I definitely watched that whole franchise because I just love Peter Sellers and Blake Edwards. It's a collab that much. And another amazing one is A Shot in the Dark, which is the only Pink Panther movie I've seen. But you don't really need to watch the first one to know where to see it. It's the second movie in the franchise. And it's the actual the mystery story. It's well written. The jokes are hilarious, and it may or may not be another pick for me, but that won't be probably until the future. I don't want every movie to be like a Peter Sellers movie as much as I love the guy.
I mean, I want to watch more Peter Sellers movies because I haven't seen I've seen bits and pieces of like the original Pink Panther stuff, but the only like Pink Panther movie I've actually seen is the
Steve Martin one way better, right?
That's the only one I've seen. So now Ethan just sounds depressed.
I haven't seen anything.
So I did
The future episode incoming, I guess, folks.
That movie is only fascinating just because of Steve Martin's performance, just for how
he kind of goes full redacted.
Yeah, no,
from what I've seen,
he does. He
he goes full redacted. All right,
it's just
Well, we love that. We love redacted performances.
Love that. He's perfect. Yeah.
My wife is redacted. Like amazing performance. And groundbreaking, Oscar-worthy essay. All right, Simon, thoughts?
I'll give my opinion, little buddy.
All right, you tell me.
So I'd like about it. It's very, like I said, fast-paced. It goes from joke to joke, other than like from scene and very end. Not much really to this other than here's what happened. It was funny. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5. That first joke in the movie, if it didn't go on for like 3 minutes,
then what? We have liked it better, I guess.
It doesn't like improve the rating. I'm just saying like that one joke.
Oh, okay.
That was like the only bad one. Or not, I wouldn't even call that joke bad, just more dragged out.
Bad joke. It's just like you ran into the ground, which was the problem.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it was my pick. So say
5 out of 5.
I mean, I'm glad y'all liked it. I'm glad because this episode I've been wanting to do is I'm glad we get her done. Yeah, I love this movie. Glad I picked it. And there's other things to mention, like the set design is obviously fantastic. From like a filmmaking perspective, I mean, obviously it's great. Like the movie's very vibrant looking. Like in every shot is always like pleasing in the eyes to look at. Especially if you love like just the way 60s movies look as much as I do. It's just like an eyegasm, like the whole movie you're just watching. Like all these like costumes and whatnot. Like all the people just like well dressed, I guess. It's a very vibrant looking movie. It's a part of the movie's charm. And yeah, from beginning to end, it's this joke after joke after joke. And some may work for you and some may not. But there's bound to be at least one thing that's going to be humorous for somebody out there. Yeah, Peter Sellers' performance is obviously fantastic and charming as it goes along. It's just like a complete klutz, but he's still like so lovable because of how modest he is everybody, and the way he just makes these like rich people look like fools as well. Which I know it seems like very surface level, but it's still great in this movie. Yeah, my rating overall would be a 4 out of 5. Love it. One of my favorites we've done for this podcast so far, but there's a lot more to do, obviously, for the future. So yeah, we had a party. That's how we began the new year. We had a party.
It's groovy, party.
Party.
Oh, and I find like the slapstick. Sorry to ramble on, but I find the slapstick humor in this movie like very comforting for me too. Because like when I was like a little when I was like growing up, I used to watch like the Three Stooges a lot. Like some slapstick comedy like that. It was like there's like a lot of, like stuff like that I used to love watching. And it's like the same thing of this movie. So I don't know. I love that as well about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Little buddy.
Hey, little buddy. It's okay. It's all right,
little buddy.
Sorry. Like a product of its time.
Oh, absolutely. But still, in a way, it was sort of ahead of its time as well, just because you can still sort of feel its influence in a lot of modern comedies as well.
Also, fun fact, it was one of Elvis Presley's favorite movies as well. So, some Tennessee rep right there for me, at least. All right, anything else we want to add, or just want to wrap this up?
No, I
I
think
think we
we've
can.
talked about everything. Or do you have anything to say, Simon? Or
Oh, I think we covered everything.
Yep.
all right, well,
Birdie num nums.
Birdie num nums.
Birdie num nums.
birdie num nums.
See.
Sod, you should
See
start
y'all.
like a Australian snack food. The birdie
Okay.
num nums.
Just called birdie
Oh,
num
God, kangaroo
nums.
num
The
nums.
birdie num nums.
Yes.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
Be like a chicken jerky. The birdie num nums.
Just bits of bird.
Yeah, just bird
Just
chunks.
bird chunks in a bag.
Dehydrated bird chunks with some salt and pepper in a bag.
And then there's a whole scandal once it's revealed that we used Indian minor birds.
Oh.
Yeah, they're everywhere though, so...
This is becoming dead air. People are gonna complain now.
I'm here to edit. Anyway, well, see us next time. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.